Got it. Yep, for sure.
What's going on, Kim? Good to see you in here today. What's going on, Sean? Good to see you in here today. What's
Hey,
going on, Danielle? Good to see you in here today. Miss Hicks, always good to talk to you. What's up? How y'all doing?
Great, man. How about yourself, brother?
And I have my caffeine. I'm up now.
hey.
What's up, Kim? You've been dropping some real good nuggets lately. I'm loving it.
Mhm.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing lovely. Today, we're going to be going over rehabbing mobile homes. We're going to have the one, the only, Mr. Jose Garcia start us off. He got a nice presentation set up together for us today. And I hope y'all enjoyed this one for sure. I'm glad he was on time, Kim. We're going to get this thing started.
Right on time. Absolutely.
With
All
that
right, we
being said,
ready?
Mr. Jose is on you.
All right. Let me make me the host or let me be able to share Holden so I can share the presentation.
Just did it. You got it.
There we go. All right. So here's what I want to do tonight. Okay. And I do this with many coachings. You know, investing in mobile homes can be done any and everywhere across the board. That's a given. But you have to be able to know what you're looking at. If the numbers check out, the deals check out. The mobile home is the last thing you're really focusing on. And I know they may sound weird or backwards in a way. We understand mobile homes. Once you rehab mobile homes, it's just another mobile home. What you need to pay attention to is the numbers, pay attention to the budgets. Then you can take on another market, another city, another state, and you just keep scaling. That's how it works. The numbers don't check out. I don't care what the mobile home looks like because it ain't there. So, in doing so, you have to at one point realize you can't run to every mobile home. If I have 10 mobile homes being rehab, I'm not checking out 10. It's not going to happen like that. So you will over time get better and better. And at one point, you're going to be able to realize how to estimate, how to create budgets simply by looking at photos. We do this every day. So that's what I'm going to teach you on here based on if I was looking at this, how would I come up with a budget? How would I scale this rehabbing and just breaking it down? All right. That being said, this is one that I actually checked out, just exactly like what I'm talking about, along with 10 other ones that over in Monroe, Louisiana, where we're currently rehabbing them. So this is how it started. This is the exterior of a mobile home, which is the first thing you look at. Now, one thing in favoritism in a way, but you'll understand why. Metal on metal. That's my favorite. Metal roofs, metal sidings. These are the most durable mobile homes than any other mobile homes. You got the stucco type wood that tears apart. You have the vinyl, looks beautiful while it lasts, but then it tears up. These things here, you can keep resealing. We'll go over this, and you can keep repainting them, pressure washing them, and they continue to keep on being around, keeping that cash flow coming, if you will. Okay. Now, when you step up to a mobile home, a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times, you're able to see the roofs. Look at the neighbor. You're able to see the roof. Now, this is a pitched roof, so you can see it a little easier. But when I'm looking at a mobile home, I start from the outside and work my way in. And as I'm approaching the mobile home, I start from the top and work my way to the bottom. And this goes interior, exterior. So as I'm walking to this mobile home, I'm going to be eyeing, trying to pay attention to the roof. Again, this one I can see, you can see all these spots. This is just from old wear and tear. That's fine. But I want to see if I see any holes, any road damages. Okay. So I'm starting from the top and working my way to the bottom. I don't see any holes. I don't see any dings. The skirting here, I could care less. Skirting is not part of a mobile home. You can replace the skirting. Some people put obviously foundations, different, whatever it may be. Skirting is not part of a mobile home. All the skirting missing, it is something else to add to the budget. But again, it's not something that's going to be a make or break for me. Okay. Decks, that can be a big one. Decks is one of those things that do fall under the safety code. So obviously, based on the county, the rule regulations, and this is why it's great to get acquainted with anything that's going on in those areas and be sure that you're up to par. Okay, you don't want to violate that. So steps. Now, I'll make it simple. Okay, I'll make it livable, I'll make it presentable, and I'll make it work. I'm not going to come here and build a deck as big as the mobile home. Ain't happening. Remember, budget. I'm going to keep saying that number. It's going to be a step up that goes in and down. If whoever buys it from me or does rent to own, whatever, they want to put something bigger, I'm all right with that. Okay. Nothing on this one needs to be replaced. I can zoom a little bit more. I'll pay attention to holes, pay attention to around the windows. Obviously, around the windows is where it can't start leaking. And let me tell you this right away. Okay. They sell this stuff called reseal. You can get it at Home Depot, Lowe's. I'm not trying to sell for them. They sell it in 5-gallon buckets. Here's what every investor needs to do. What I do is I pressure wash the top. It's got to be metal, so you can do this, and I reseal it. You basically take a mop, take this bucket, and you are just spreading it out on top. It's like a tar that's going to harden. When I say you, I'm referring to your handyman or contractor to do so. Okay. Now, if it's good enough for the roof, could it be good enough for the windows? Could it be good enough for around the door seals? Yes, because you got to think when you reseal this roof, you have anywhere from 7 to 10 years. Now, I do it every 7 years. 7 years is what we got on the mark. But 7 to 10 years, you basically have a brand new roof that's been resealed. No leaks, right? So I'm going to do the same thing around the trims, around the windows, so that I make sure that that's sealed as well. And guys, they sell it in yellow, they sell it in white, they sell it in black. I go with black, white, it doesn't matter, okay? When I say pressure washing, we do paint the mobile homes as well. Metal on metal, you can roll them. You can roll. Now make sure it's exterior paint, by the way. You don't have to paint the mobile homes. I choose to. Okay, but it's, make sure it's exterior latex paint that you can use on there, because that does give it, again, more durability. You obviously seal before that, paint over it, can't be seen. The home is sealed and secure, and that's what you want, right? Any damage is gone. Decks, like I mentioned, you put them together, and we'll go over numbers here in a few minutes. Skirting, I will put the same thing that it's got on here and just go back around, tuck it in, make sure insulation is tucked. You'll see some photos on the inside here in a few minutes. Y'all can stop me at any given point. I get going and I get moving. So, but all right, we looked at the outside. We see that there's no real damages. Based on what I can see on the roof, I'm not seeing any holes, no trees don't fell through there, none of that craziness, right? So now we walk into the inside. Now, again, top to bottom. I'm always going to start from the top and I'm going to work my way bottom. Now, I've had many investors ask me, well, what if the roof has been leaking for months and you can't tell? You have a metal roof, you have insulation, you have 2x3s, and you have this cardboard light. I assure you, when it leaks, it'll be minutes and you can start telling. It'll look like this corner right here. If this was leaking for months, it would be black, or the ceiling would be on the floor. Okay, it doesn't take long. But I am going to look up there and see if there's any damages. You can see the majority of this, there is no damages. There's a section here, which could be more so from the corner. We're going to address that as well, of course, and just work our way out. Pay attention from one side to the other. I'm going to check out that roof, and then I'm going to start checking the walls again. Most of this is going to be particle wood, which is fine. I'm going to check it out, see how much it needs to be replacements. The biggest expense in a mobile home that we see, it is electrical. And when I say electrical, I'm not talking about a couple outlets didn't work, one of the lights was gone. I'm talking entirely. If I walk in and I'm seeing these walls torn apart, means that somebody had done pull all that wiring for the copper. Still gets done, by the way. Okay, somebody already pulled that. I'm talking $2,000 to $4,000 maybe to repair that, because I'm gonna have to have a electrician who's got to be licensed to come in. And look, no licensed electrician is going to come in and say, I'm going to piece this, band-aid it up for you. He's going to say, I'm going to go ahead and do the entire mobile home, which needs to be done because it needs to be done right. He or she's going to tear up some more, trying to put all this wire through all these walls. So now I don't only have all this expense from new wiring from this electrician, but I also have to have somebody come behind him and fix all that as well. That would be a make or break for me. If we're talking high thousands plus the mobile home, now we're at a certain number. Again, we'll talk about numbers in the end. Then it may be one of those where that's not a deal. It's not a deal because there's too much money going into the rehab in itself, right? Another big expense would be a roof. And when I say roof is if you have to put a brand new metal roof, which is what we do, even on shingles. I don't go shingles again. If the roof goes, I'm going to put a brand new metal roof on it. We are looking anywhere from $2,000 to around $3,000 for the material and labor. Some of these numbers, most of these numbers that I'm tossing at you do come from connections. Obviously, I've been in this business for a while, but these are connections that you can build and obviously have that ongoing business with whoever it is you do business with. 2 to 3,000 for a roof, which includes the labor material altogether, right? Plumbing. If all the plumbing is gone, plumbing is not one that scares me. A lot of times there's so many pipes missing, broke, etc. I'll go ahead and just plumb the whole thing. We're just pushing problems down the road that will come back first winter comes around. But plumbing would also be one, and again, because of the expense that it can take, may not necessarily be the material, but you're asking a contractor to be under here on the ground plumbing this entire thing. And you investors know some of these mobile homes set high, that's fine. Some of them were very low, where the contractor's basically going to have to be crawling to get this job done. So again, expenses can go up. All right, keep those three. Another one, last one, would be the HVAC, and that's a huge one. I get questions on this all the time. This was about 2 months ago. We had Griffin, Georgia, where we installed over 30 mini splits. If you don't know what a mini split is, it's basically, I see them in Airbnbs all the time. And it's not an HVAC. HVACs are anywhere from 7 to 10,000 to get one installed. And I love when they tell me, oh, you got the old version, we can't get it, you got to get a new one. Every time, okay? Every time, never fails. $7,000 to $10,000 ain't gonna happen. We are either going to do window units, and the window units that we use are heat and cool, or we're going to use mini splits. Mini splits are still a bill. You're still looking at $1,500 to $2,000 maybe for the installation and the kit if you can get a deal, but it's much better than an entire HVAC system, and they work. Mini splits, I was surprised at how smooth they operate. I mean, and they heat the house up. They cool the house down, so it works. Okay. All right. I walk in and I'm looking at the ceilings. I'm looking at some of this damage. This is not. I'm not too concerned on this section here. And when you're looking at a mobile home, I want you to piece it. Everything is a piece. Think about that. Floor, ceiling, walls. I'm going to break that down. Let's look at this floor here. And yes, that's grass, what you're looking at, by the way. You see right through it. You fall there, you'd be on the ground. So insulation has to be fixed from under. I was talking about sealed up, and then this floor needs to be done. Now, contractors that don't know what they're doing, they're going to come in here and they're going to start playing Tetris. They're going to put a little section here, then another little section here, then another little stop. Okay, that's not how that gets rehabbed, because none of that is not going to be placed like it's supposed to be, and it's not a long-term solution. One, we are going to get rid of the particle wood. So make a note of that. If your mobile home has particle wood, that has an end date very soon coming. The second that stuff gets wet, gets moisture, it is gone. We're going to use entire plywood sheets like you see in this corner here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove all this junk off, and we're going to start laying 1 sheet, 2 sheets, 3 sheets. Now you got a flat base across. And this is where putting a budget is huge. For those of you wondering, well, how much does it take for this? How much material? How much expenses? Price it out. All you got to do is think worst case scenario. What is worst case scenario? Home Depot or Lowe's. There's many better places to shop than that. But I'm thinking worst case scenario and hoping for the best. One of these sheets of plywood at Home Depot right now, y'all go look it up. Home Depot, 30, 40 bucks, whatever it may be. All right. So if it's 30, 40 bucks, let's say, and I need 7 of them, $40 times 7 is what? That gives you an estimate on material. And this is why it's huge to know this, because when a contractor says, oh, I'm going to need about 600 worth for lumber, I'm not seeing it. Break those numbers down, it's not there. So we're going to repair all this flooring here, put it back together. I don't paint this wood-like, and this could be more of an suggestion to somebody who likes to paint that. Maybe somebody else doesn't. I like to leave it. If it's not damaged, I like wood-looking color. That's just me. I am going to paint the ceiling. When you paint the ceiling entirely, it just opens the home. And that's one thing about this is mobile homes are small. Any way you can open them up, clear some space, that just gives it, that appeal and an update, of course. Okay. There's another section in the kitchen, cabinets. Okay. Cabinets got to go. And look, when I say make livable and presentable, if it ain't broken, I'm not fixing it. I'm not going to fix it. I have no problem taking these cabinets, sanding them down, painting them, and they're good to go right where they're at. Cabinets are not cheap. Okay, this section here, you're talking $200-300 bucks. I know, isn't it crazy? But again, every dollar you're adding is a little bit more money, a little bit more money. Okay. Let's see, another section in the ceiling, and to repair this, again, think about an entire sheet. This right around here would be about 1 sheet. This would be about 1 more sheet. So that's what we would use. I don't go back with particle wood. I like sheetrock. Now I don't ever plan on moving my mobile homes. That's something to keep in mind. If you put all brand new sheetrock and you move the mobile home, it's probably going to crack. Okay, that's one of those things. Another view, okay, ceiling. You can see this one definitely needs a reseal because water is getting in. Now notice none of this is in the center. None of this water is center, so that means that the edges are where the damages are at. I'll go back to the first picture here in a few minutes. Here's another section of the plywood. That is a hole in the middle of, okay. Painting, I would paint some of this. The vinyl we replace. I'm going to show y'all another home here in a few minutes and show you what it looks like once we get done with every project. And look, when you think about a mobile home and another, this is not the time to be an artist. Okay, you're an investor. You're here to invest. You're here to provide. Okay, presentable and livable. Every one of my mobile homes looks the same. If you look at this one when it's done, it's going to look the same as the one in Atlanta and the one in Macon and the one in Griffin, because I'm not going to change the material and the formula that I use. Buy in bulk so you get a discount. Buy off market so you get it cheaper, right? It's all the same thing. When we buy vinyl for this, and again, you'll see it at the other home, I'll buy rolls. I'm not going to Home Depot and saying, give me 10 feet of this and 12. We're going to buy an entire roll because that's what we're going to do it. I do not use carpet in any of my homes unless there's already carpet there when I buy them, and it could be shampooed maybe, sure. All the sections here you can see need some repairing. This here insulation needs to go. That is literally the metal that you can see. Take this insulation, probably has some mold on it, re-insulate it, put sheetrock over it, cover it up. I will go ahead and fix this section, which is missing right here. Never mind this wood. I will go ahead and paint this room as well. Okay. I typically go with commercial colors, which is light gray, vanilla, or like a little light blue. That's what we've been using in all of our homes. When you buy paint, make sure you buy something like a 5-gallon buckets. And a quick little tip for y'all, paint expires. If you ever see a paint that has expired, don't smell it. It smells horrific, okay? I'll tell you why I know that. Next photo, bathrooms. That one is a huge one. So look, you can't just go to Home Depot or Lowe's and say, hey, give me a tub because the one in my mobile home is broken. These tubs, especially in older mobile homes, 80, 90 models that we invest in, typically are a separate or different size that you're not just going to find. You're going to have to go to a mobile home store. Now, again, when you go and buy something specific for something, it's going to be more. I have been known to take this tub that's sitting here and just put a stand-up shower. Is what it is. That's what we're going to go with. I've even taken a wall and extended it out a little bit if I could find a cheap enough tub. And when I say find or find something cheaper, I don't mean spend 4 hours a day on Craigslist. You know, there's many ways to brand market advertise. We can leave this for another coaching where people come to you with material. That's what you want to do. I buy in bulk anywhere I can. Vanities, cabinets, toilets, you know, all this. When I started 8 years ago, I spent hours and hours at Home Depot, at Lowe's, just walking around seeing prices because I wanted to know what stuff cost. That is not just knowing for a budget, but it can also be a make or break deal. If you're sitting there trying to negotiate a mobile home, you don't have time to go run and check prices. So having an idea of what this costs in a worst case scenario could be huge. I need a vanity, $100. I need a toilet, $80. I need a tub, $200. You got to put those numbers quick because that's what it's going to take to get this thing back up and going. Okay, this here window, I don't like those. I think they're useless. It's just one more section for the mobile home to leak. I will seal these, insulate it, cover this up. Okay, good to go. I'm not going to deal with that window. I think it's one of the last photos. Photo. Now, the washer dryer, same here. I mean, I would fix this section, definitely put vinyl in this. If any of y'all have carpet in this area, that is not good. If you have particle wood under it, that's going to leak sooner or later. Okay, and it's not going to take much for that. So I will replace this section. This section just needs painting. It looks dirty, ugly, old. Okay, but there's nothing wrong with the section here. So, and another section of the kitchen from the other angle. Again, just come in and replace. I'll talk numbers here more in a few minutes. And again, carpet, I would get rid of that. Bear with me, guys. I want to show you something real quick. Where is my other? Here we go, right here. So the home I showed y'all, and I know it's still loading. I do not have final photos yet. It is still being rehabbed, so I'm happy to show them on another call. Y'all can see what it looked like. I'll show y'all pre-photos, post photos so that you can get an idea. This is what a mobile home looks like when we are done. If you look at all my homes, they look the same colors. I mean, this is what we do. So the outside, this did get put skirting on it, which is not something common we do, but we will. And when you put it over metal, it just, I mean, it's just a whole upgrade. Okay. It is a pitched roof. All the skirting is done. You see the decks. I know the photos are a little small. The decks is just what it needs. People need to be able to get in, get out. It's safe. It's up to code. It's all I want. Okay. You can see the bathroom. And this is what I mean by the vinyl. This is rolls and rolls. I think we had 7 rolls delivered last week down in Sylvester, Georgia, where we're at. And you can see the commercial colors. This is what I mean by gray. Paint the ceilings. You see how much it opens it up, right? And this is the same appeal all the way around. Cabinets, vanities, same thing. Paint the trim, paint it white, get it tough. I will replace toilets when the toilets are far gone. You know where I'm going with that. Just go ahead and replace that. We did not close this window up. It was not leaking, left it as is, but this is about a finished project on something like this. Let me ask, let's see, stop sharing. Stop sharing. Any questions before we talk on numbers?
Oh, you took it right out of my mouth. I was about to say, man, how much it costs?
I do have a question about the tubs. Do you, sometimes they are kind of dingy and worn, but they're livable. Do you paint them or epoxy them?
Yeah. So they do sell, and I do the same for fridges. I don't do appliances as much, but they do sell paint sprays for fridges, for appliances, and for even tubs. We will touch them up. I don't replace a tub unless it is cracked, broken. I will try to beautiful it up as much as I can.
Great, thank you.
All right, let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share back that again, and then we'll talk numbers on this one here.
Anybody else had any questions about the previous things that he was saying?
Actually, I have one more question. So I know you said that you use sheetrock for the ceiling. So sometimes when you're replacing a patch, an area, it's not going to match the rest of the ceiling. So are you sheetrocking the whole space, the whole run of that ceiling, or just that particular space that panel? That's the word, that panel. How are you handling that when it doesn't really match?
Yeah, so kind of hard to see in this little bitty photos, but if it was a section like right here, I would go ahead and replace this entire section. And then once you come in and you paint it, the entire ceiling is painted brand new white. You can't tell as much, and I'm not going to deal with that. I mean, that's the way it comes. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
I
going to
know.
match exact. Yeah,
Right.
exact design is what is.
Okay, great.
Any other questions? Y'all can just, I guess, unmute yourselves.
Kayla, you got any questions? Kim, Tracy?
No,
No
for me.
questions.
Thanks.
How are you dealing with can you touch a little bit on mold?
Yes, terrible stuff. So now they seem to be coming up with more and more stuff. I forget the name of that one stuff, but it comes in a blue bottle. And it's basically you can spray it. I know a lot of times people like to use bleach, try to remove some of that stuff. And I would say bleach might or might not work because mold continues to grow. I typically, anywhere there's damage, I like to tear it out. If there's damage around the walls, around the corners, I will go ahead and tear walls out, tear out the insulation, even the 2x3s behind it if it's needed, because I don't need that to start growing again. That's a hazard. You're talking a whole different issue. Should something
Right.
go, something like that.
Actually, Jose, I did have a quick question. Windows. I went to look at a home the other day. All but one of the windows are busted out. So it means the house has been weathered. We've had heavy rain down here recently. Would you even touch a house like that?
Yes, I would. And when you say windows, what are you referring to?
So all the windows literally in the home, the windows from the outside, those windows, they're all busted out except for one of them.
The glass.
Yeah, the glass, sorry, yeah. So the glass
That
that
is
goes through the window.
that is
Yeah,
a phenomenal question. Yes, this is why I
yeah.
love people asking questions. Okay, so here's what's going to happen, and we did this once. We decided to take all this frames and we were going to go to a junkyard, we called it, which was a bunch of mobile homes that were stationed, they were ready to get demoed, and we said we can just go take them off of there, bring them back and put them on this one. The problem is, if you've ever heard about real estate, homes settle, houses settle. So what we did is we were taking
Mhm.
these out and going and finding new ones, came back and tried to put them on. They didn't fit.
Didn't work,
We
yeah.
had a hassle to try to get that in there. And then the more we started seeing into this, again, it was one of those, it's like, don't fix it if it's not broken and don't overdo it. So there was no reason for us to have taken all these frames out. You can go to Lowe's or Ace Hardware and you can say, I want a glass cut at a certain size. So instead of trying to replace all this here or even taking frames out, I'm going to measure side to side, up to down, exactly to the T. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shadow the rest of the glass out of there and go get an exact size. A glass window for something like this, I may be looking at 20 bucks, $20. And I'm going to get that.
$20.
Yes, get you that Gorilla silicone. I love that stuff. Gorilla silicone, which you run a strip across all the way on the sides. Once it's clean and neat, and you basically put the glass on, let it sit, and you're good to go.
Nice, thank you.
Absolutely. I don't know why my pictures are doing that. I think it's because I'm trying to make them bigger. All right. I will talk to y'all about these numbers on this one real quick as soon as I can.
Glass real quick, Jose.
No rush. You asked me.
Okay, so one of the guys that works for me said that he because somebody's always cracking a glass. So they recommended that we replace it with plexiglass, which is what they do in their own units. I've never done that because having glass replaced here is a little more expensive, but I'm considering the plexiglass on a unit that we just purchased. What are your thoughts on that?
You said the glass where you're at is more expensive?
Yeah, Home Depot, and there's a glass cutter. So just for an average window that is, I guess, 34, the glass was like, I don't know, $62 at one place, and then another place it was 40 something. So it was expensive as far as I'm concerned when you got to replace several windows.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would check with not a glass cutting company, but I would check with Ace Hardware. It tends to be the better one of it. And what they do is they have sheets of this stuff. So you can actually buy an entire sheet and just say, cut me 3 or 4 sizes based on whatever that is. I don't like plexiglass because it doesn't look like real window. It will crack over time. People swear you can throw rocks at it or whatever. That's not the case. That stuff will dry up over time and it will crack. And most people don't like that because it can't really see through. It's not a very clear like a glass would be.
Okay, thank you. I'm
But it
glad
works. It will work. If you absolutely have to go with plexi, then it'll do the job.
all right, thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. This mobile home in this community, we picked it up for $1,000. It was a junker full of junk, and I say junk, but it was actually a lot of good material inside of it. A lot of times when mobile homes are full of stuff on the inside, you can actually find material that's in there I can use at another mobile home. So $1,000 is what we paid for the mobile home. We spent right around $2,000 putting the vinyl siding on this. We resealed the roof on it, put the skirting, put the decks, toilets, vanities, all is brand new in this mobile home. It took 3/4 of the roll, which the roll that we use on here, and I'll buy rolls from a different company because if you go, for instance, to Home Depot or Lowe's, the widest rolls they have is 12 feet. So if you have a 14-foot mobile home or a 16-foot, then you're going to have a strip on the side of it all the way running across right around through here, which looks ugly. You can use a bridge, you can use a taper. I don't like it. I just like one roll. So with the rolls that we get, which one roll is 85 feet, and we get it for right around $800. So we're able to do more than about a home, and it just rolls all the way across. We tuck it in, staple it to the corners. Some of it we're not even gluing to the bottom. I don't have the full entirely breakdown, but everything that we spent on this home, like I said, the cabinets can get costly. Now, I do have another photo where we put a couple of them on this side here where the fridge and stuff are supposed to go, but this is more of a finish. I would say 98% finish at this point. We were at roughly around $9,500 for an entirety. And that's what I'll talk about, the whole blueprint of a third all in. In this market here, I have it lower than what it should be, 26,000, because I want to get cash. But this mobile home can easily go to 30 to 32K, especially for financing. So I never want to go over that 1/3 of the final resale ARV, if you will. So, I could show you a whole different one. Okay. Let's do it. Any questions? I know I went through quickly on that.
Nah, they don't look that bad from what I seen for how much you spent, for sure. Cause I done did it where I done messed around and spent 30,000 trying to make it the most best. Oh my God, I try to make it the best thing possible, and it still don't move as fast as something that you take that you put a third all in on.
A lot of the material many times, and you can buy from Home Depot or Lowe's. I mean, they have a reward card you can use. You can use contractor specials. If you buy 4 water heaters, you get the 5th one free. I mean, there's ways to also get discounts and be able to make it that way. But to me, it's always, and I said we could do a whole coaching on it. It's as simple as going to Craigslist, let go, offer up Facebook and saying, hey, we're rehabbing a couple mobile homes. Anybody have any material to sell? You will be surprised how many people tell you, I got 5 sheets of sheetrock in my garage. Come and get it. You can have it. That's free material. And there's lists of people like that you can get material off market.
Nice. Let's open it up for questions. Who all got some questions today? That was a great presentation, for sure.
This is Kim, y'all. All right, so I got a question about the flooring. Did you say that you use the roll vinyl? Because my the contract I've worked with for years says that stuff does not work. It's much more expensive to put that down when you factor in labor. Because I like the idea of putting that down. It's waterproof because we know number one enemy to a mobile home is water. So I like the idea of putting that down, but he said it's more expensive when you factor in labor and the glue and all that other stuff. So we always do LVP. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know your contractor or what the rates he's tossing at you, but my guys, I have teams of this, and this has taken time to build the right crews, the right material, the right, obviously put those numbers to bring them as low as possible. But using the vinyl is the easiest. It is the least time consuming. When I say roll it out, that's exactly what I mean. You literally roll it out and you're just tucking in, stapling, and you keep going in the next room. My guys can put vinyl down in about 2 hours in a mobile home like you just saw.
Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, so we do vinyl flooring and it takes at least a day. Sometimes it takes 2, depends on if it's single wide or a double wide. But we do that, and then of course the trim, the baseboards around. Now I'm listening to you. It does make sense because we were talking about just gluing the whole floor. But thank you. I'm gonna try and do that.
Absolutely.
Floors cost
Absolutely.
$1,000 just for materials alone in a single wide, because we get the ones that are 99 cents a foot at Home Depot, and then we put in the bathrooms, and in the bathrooms we do waterproof flooring, so that costs a little
Where are
more.
you located?
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, I was just about to say it. Boy, he getting off. He telling you got to use LVP. Yeah, you got to start. One thing I did learn is you got to always have 2 backup guys. And then I like to
Yes.
break them down by the job. I got my siding guy who can come do siding in the day. I got my floor guy who can do flooring in the day. I got my paint guy who can do paint in the day. But and I'm not sure if I know what you're doing with them, but if you got that one person doing more than 1 or 2 jobs, they starting to factor all of that stuff in. So I like to just keep them on basis. You're the floor guy. You're the sheetrock guy. You're the repair guy. And then sometimes you might want to have a repair guy who do the installs. That way he can't blame the work from the last guy who did the repairs. And as fast as you hire him, you better be 10 times faster to fire him.
Yep.
And I have to
Bingo.
hire grown men acting like children.
Here, it is so hard. I'm at Casa now trying to find contractors. I need people for tomorrow, and it is my main guy is in New York, working on some stuff, but it's hard trying to find some contractors here. I have a team, but we have a lot of stuff going on, and I just need more people. But
Have you been to Home Depot and Lowe's and all of that yet?
You mean where they stand outside?
I mean, just go there early in the morning when they material picking up, go there early in the morning and get busy. Like you go out and talk to every one of them, every Migo, every white guy, every black guy, anybody who cashing out. It's literally there at the register. And you want to pass out, you might want to get a couple cards made, just like you want to do to promote that you sell the houses and you buy the houses. You want to let people know that you're looking to hire contractors. Maybe list something simple with your name and email on it, really just your name and number, and just tell them, hey, call me, I'm hiring. And you let them know, hey, I got current projects. I do this all the time. And you talk to 10, 20 of them, man, you'll have a full pipeline. I got a full pipeline of people, and it only takes time a month.
That's a huge one. It's said this way. If you want a responsible, serious contractor, those are the ones that get up early in the morning and get the day started. So when you go to Lowe's or Home Depot 7 in the morning, those are the ones you're going to find. But that's dead on what Holden said. I would even take it one step further and get with the Home Depot or Lowe's management. Drop your card. Say, I'm always looking for contractors, because guys go there and sometimes ask them, you know anybody who needs some work, or you're picking up for this. They're always looking for that next job. You could be the next job.
For real, the last people who did my siding, how I found my siding guy, I literally cashed out the lady $100 who worked there at the place and told her, find me as many people as you can who could do this right for the lowest price. Now she just, man, I'm talking about every day she's sending me 2-3 people every day, 2-3 people. And then the only thing I hear is, oh yeah, I got referred from so-and-so. She said that you was looking for work. I literally just gave up $100 and let somebody else do the recruiting.
Oh goodness, that is such an awesome idea. Thank you, because I have done the Home Depot guys, and it didn't work out. Like one guy used 8 5-gallon buckets of paint in a double wide mobile home. He just hadn't anyway. So
was he spraying?
He sprayed, and then
that's the problem right there. If he's spraying, I learned a lot, because you got to have a fast dude, then you got to have a real detailed dude, like a blue tape guy. You got to have a blue tape guy who can look over the fast guy.
Okay. A blue tape.
We're running a business here. You got to have tiers to how good they are. And of course, the guy who's going to take it slow and be like, yo, do you see this? If this guy got every explanation for how it should be done right, this the guy you might just shoot some bread even if you ain't got him a job. This the guy you like, hey, can you go check this out for me? Hey, can you go run behind these guys for me? But he might be stuck on your last job. And, hey, take a day off. I need you to come check this job out real quick. And he don't want to supervise a job. He just want to be able to know that you his go-to guy. So you got to have those two people: a fast guy who know how to manage the crews, or you're gonna be managing the crews, and you got to have a guy who really like a solo dolo guy, who just an old school or old head who's done every single thing. You need him. Like, he might get on your nerves when he talk to you, but that's the guy you need to come blue tape. I'm telling he gonna be the type of person who stretch a conversation out that could be 5 minutes to a whole damn hour. You feel me? But you got to put him up on your team. We bosses. You see what I'm saying? So we got to be able to boss up and just, okay, I got to know how to put these right people in the right seat so we can all be rolling in the same direction.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Fed, man. Go bring him some Versailles every once in a while, man.
That's dead on there. And look, it's not to be harsh with people. One thing I tell, especially new investors, is, well, there's a tendency to, I don't want to bother somebody. I don't want to do this. Look, they work for you, not the other way around. This is a business. Run it professionally and keep going. If you need to get rid of somebody, is what is. Get to the next one. Because every day that your mobile home is not done, it's costing only you money, not them. So, Daniel asked, are you using shoe molding also with the vinyl? I use trim, and some of my contractors have even taken a 1x6 and cut it, make it fit, and they actually go around the entire mobile home putting trim around the bottom. So yes, I would use something like that.
Any more questions before we get out of here? And I got one more gem to drop after the questions. Well, I'll go and drop the gem. The biggest thing that I always see is you go check that mobile home out yourself personally. You got to go in there and you got to be able to look. This is how many sheetrocks is going to be. How many sheetrock panels is going to be on here. This how much the square footage is. This how many cabinets I'm going to need. This is what the layout need to look like. this is you got to be able to go check everything out yourself and then let somebody go check it out. That way they don't hit you with a bunch of bullshit, because they will do it. They're not called contractors for a reason. They're con men.
Ah,
You know? So I just wanted to let y'all know that. Go check the house out in person. That way you can have a real strong idea on how much material. And the more you do it, the more you buy, the more you do it, the more you buy, the more you start understanding, like, all right, this guy's right here, he's full of crap. You know, and then this guy's right here, like he understand, he close. He might have been saying a little bit of extra because he needs some just in case stuff. Okay. And then always have you, if you got more than one mobile home that you're working on, you can use the other one as a storage as long as you got it locked up. So I just wanted to give everybody that gem right there for sure. Go check the mobile home out and do your own material budget. Go to Home Depot, go see how many lights you're gonna need. You only need to do this once or twice until you can get the flow of it. Because after a while on your Pro app, and everybody should have Lowe's Pro or Home Depot Pro, after you look at them apps, you can see what you're spending most of the time, and you can literally reorder the same thing every time. Hey, I want to reorder this again. Then you can go to the Pro desk and get 20-30% off.
Why don't we have I was about to say, and if you're still unsure and still a little doubtful about how to approach contractors, just bring Holden with you. He'll take care of them. But we should talk about maybe potentially having a coaching call on here on how to hire contractors, hold them accountable, pay them.
I say we'll set that up at the first of the month on one of the Wednesdays. Guys, we will be moving the Sunday calls to Wednesdays. So the different topics that we was going over on Sundays, we're going to start doing those before we do the welcome call, okay? So we're not going to be doing Sundays no more. We're going to be strictly on that Wednesday where we're going to do the Q&As, and then we're going to go over it. That way everybody can have their full Sundays. But other than that, any other questions about rehabbing the mobile homes? I hope everybody wrote down some gems today. You already know what I'm about to tell you to do. Go to the school, drop the gems in there. Let us know what you learned today. Put it in the rehab and mobile homes tab, and let's run it up. Let's get it. Share the gems, because somebody might have not wrote down what you wrote down. So we all about educating each other. All right? I hope you all wrote down all the gems. And I appreciate y'all for coming and being on time today. And Jose, what a great presentation.
Thank you. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks. Good night, y'all.
Bye-bye.